in sort of a cloud there or something.
Well, perfect. Already then.
Okay, we're all ready.
You're recording there. I'm recording on my end. Here we go. Our first segment here will be 13 minutes. We will begin recording now in 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to Hypnosis Everywhere, and this is Inez Simpson, and I'm coming to you from Hamburg, Germany today, and I've got a guest with me. I have to call him a guest. He's a very close friend. He's actually sort of like my son, and his name is Stin-Niels Musche, and he's a Simpson protocol trainer in Germany, and, of course, a great hypnotist.
Well, hello out there.
So we're going to have the show today is sort of more directed at sort of what hypnosis is and giving it a general outline to you. And we're also going to talk a little bit about how we met and make it a little more interesting. So, Steen, what I want from you first, I want you to introduce yourself, give a little bio about when you started hypnosis and how you got there and how you perceive hypnosis, what you think it is.
Okay. Well, let's start. So I figured out a few weeks ago that my first kind of get in touch with hypnosis was when I was early young, somewhere between 14, 15, because I was looking through old books I stole at my parents' house. And there was one book, and there was a party of 5 books, and there was one book in where hypnosis was kind of something mystic and all that stuff was described. And I said to my colleague Astrid, oh, look, well, everyone who's in the field says, well, I get in touch with hypnosis so far away when I was a young child. And I ever said, okay, first time I got with hypnosis in touch was in 2009. But actually I can say, well, it was a long time ago because there was this old book and it's close here in my office. So that was the first time. But then I forgot all about that, what was in there. And so the second time when I got the hypnosis fever was at the end of 2009, where I was working for a company. We did kind of sales training stuff. And we had always trouble that the people, we trained them good techniques, but they weren't using the techniques. So we were asking ourselves, what's going on there? Why aren't they using this great techniques? And so we came along that there is kind of a fear or anxiety, low self-esteem that they don't use it. And we were looking for, how can we fix this in a very short time? And so we were looking around, browsing and just checking Google, what can we do? And then a great colleague showed up and we met with him. We talked about it. We just go and set up a first kind of very big, very expensive training. And that was the first time I got in touch with hypnosis. And after that, I was that freaked me out, helping people to change their lives in such a short time. So that was the first time I get in touch with hypnosis. And after that, it was I was looking everywhere, getting all the stuff I could get. So, and then I just started working without an initial training, just by looking and watching and learning from just viewing this guy working. So, but then he said in 2012, well, you should take a training. So I did my first official initial hypnosis training in 2012. And I met you, Miss Ines, at the end of 2013, where I won an award at the International Hypnosis Convention in Zurich.
For rookie of the year.
Kind of rookie of the year. Kind of for the, it says rookie of the year, but it was kind of for the support of the community and service for the community, especially here in Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. So at the beginning of 2014, I did my Omni instructor training, and I became certified Simpson protocol practitioner in training at the end of 2014, beginning of 2015. And last year, I founded together with some colleagues the Hypno School. And this year, I canceled my Omni contract so that we can move further into a direction which is kind of more what I would like to do.
Yeah.
So that was the short bio.
That was a short bio, but also this thing about him having to go back to when he was a young boy, he only does that because I hypnotized someone at 10 years old, and he just wanted to one-up me. But that's okay, it didn't work.
Well, I can remember. So when I just found that book again, it came just into my mind that there's kind of a self-hypnosis technique described, and I can remember that I always tried this. I never knew if it worked or not, because how will you recognize if you're in hypnosis or not when you never had someone who says, well, yes, you're in hypnosis, or if you haven't approved. But I tried, so there was a text describing you have to do this, you have to do this, imagine this and that, and this was what I did.
So that brings me to something really important, and I thought we'll just sidetrack for a minute, because people who are listening or go to my self-hypnosis site, they do a lot of work, and I want them to understand that hypnosis, your expectation of hypnosis is important. If you are in hypnosis, if you're feeling relaxed a little bit and you're kind of calm, you're in hypnosis. It's not anything there's no spell, like even in the book, your book might have had that, but there's no spell you can break. There is not anything you can prove to yourself while you're there that you are in hypnosis, except acceptance of the state. And that's the problem. Many people will say, gee, I didn't know. And because the expectation is things are going to be a little weird, or maybe I'll be very zen. Or, there's all kinds of expectations out there. And it's really very simple. So what you are doing is going into self-hypnosis, and you are going to be able to do things there by listening to different suggestions, changing things, and that's all covered on the site. So I won't talk about any of that right now. But it's the expectation of people of what hypnosis is.
Well, just let me add something. So when a patient shows up in my office, because, I can show them with kind of convincers, hey, you're a hypnotized. But I always explain, some people feel like if they are very heavy and that stuff, or others feel very light, as kind of if they are moving away. But most of the people feel nothing. There's no change. So don't have a big expectation that something extraordinary will happen. Just it's like if you close your eyes and just feel a little relaxed. So,
and like Martin says, hypnosis is like breathing, and you don't expect your breathing to be different at all times. It's just a natural way of being, and sometimes if you're running, it'll speed up, and if you're not, if you're sitting relaxed, it'll get down. So understand the expectations, just let them be in bed, and you'll get so much more out of what you're doing. Yeah,
I agree.
Anyway, we got kind of sidetracked, but I thought it was important because that you just left that right open for me there.
This was my plan, just to give you this spot.
So anyway, so you were quite young, and you still are young.
Well, I'm getting older every year.
I know, but he's still quite young because, after all, I'm twice his age. So you are not quite, but luckily. But he is sort of like the same age as my kids. So I understand what he's in this hypnosis field. And I have to tell you, he is a great hypnotist. And he's got in his hypnosis field very early on. And I'm really happy to know that he is going to move us forward in time, because I'm 65 now. Sure, I'm still in the field and I'm still going. But it's going to be the younger people that are going to take it to the next level. So I really have high hopes for Stin. I'm going to put a lot of pressure on him in the times I know him now.
Pressure. Okay. Maybe we can fix that with hypnosis.
Yeah, that's true. And that's what we do. So, okay, so you were doing sales training that led you into hypnosis, and then you got, so now, right now you're in hypno school and you're teaching people how to do different things, right? You have different.
So I in person teach Simpson protocol. I teach basic to advanced training. We also teach self-hypnosis for patients at the Hypno School. And I also, so that's upcoming new, we call it this, what I did all the last years at conventions over there in Canada and the US. Let's talk about sex. So hypnotherapy for sexual issues. I also offer a special training for the Estale state, regression therapy, so everything. And the other colleagues are teaching also the basic training and kind of trauma therapy with hypnosis and all that stuff. So a holistic thing at the Hypno School that everyone can pick up this, what he wants to or what he needs to or what shows up in his mind he wants to do.
Mostly so far in this show we've been doing now for a relatively long time. We've had probably about nearly 20 shows under our belt. And so far, mostly what we've talked about is how to work with different medical issues, birthing, pain, all those things. But everybody turned up the volume when you said, let's talk about sex. So
hello. Let's talk about sex.
And, I know a couple of other hypnotists in the field that are very good at it. But, in America and Canada, we're always a little more reticent about sex. And Europeans just think it's like breathing, which it is.
Well, it's like breathing. Kind of, yeah.
So, when people come to hypnotists for sexual issues, it's usually very easy and it's all confidential. Anything? Yeah, you want to say anything else about that stuff?
The important thing at that thing is that the hypnotist has to be open, because people show up and tell you stuff you usually may not deal with it, because some people have kind of a boring, regular sex life and others want to spice up their life a little. So in my opinion, the important thing at this is that the hypnotist is open and don't get blushed if someone is telling, well, I have this or that on. So because the therapy part is easy, but you always have to use the language of the client. So I'm not sure if we can use some words here. Better not, because we don't know who's listening. But if you use the kind of the regular medical words for some stuff, well, the client just thinks, what is he talking about? It's not my language.
You have to use
they
the
feel
language.
Uncomfortable. And this is the most important part.
Okay, so we're going to come back in a moment and talk some more with Steen about all this stuff. And we're just going to go to break.
All clear?
All clear. Great.
Okay, wonderful.
No, I know. We'll just get going again very quick.
I keep talking about it's good because we haven't talked about that.
No, we haven't. So we might as well just. Yeah.
So,
give you 1 moment to save it and we'll get going again.
Okay.
Are we going
giving you a moment to save it, but
and we can, Martin, we can cut this after. So you edited. Wonderful. Good boy. I can do it too.
I have to, because I've got Voice America News.
And then real quick, Inez, can you turn the mic just a little bit, actually turn it center where the buttons are facing towards the wall or behind you guys. Yeah.
That? Okay.
Perfect.
That better now?
That's much better.
Okay. Much better. Good.
Much better. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's weird because with these microphones, it's omnidirectional, so it could be anything it wants. It could be like between you two, anywhere around you, or just you. Yeah. So the way it's built in, the microphones are built into the side where I like to say they're angling out where the handles. Yeah, those are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, those are the mics.
Okay. Perfect. Oh.
But built into it.
See, yes, I get it. All right. You learn something new every time.
Alrighty. Well, I am ready for this next one if you are.
Okay, we are.
Let's do this. Our second segment will be 12 minutes.
Yep.
We will begin recording now in 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to Hypnosis Everywhere, and I'm Inez Simpson, and I have my guest Stin, and I think you were all turning your volumes up because we were talking about sex, baby. And, so I'm going to just take this a little further because, sexual issues can destroy a person's marriage. It can destroy their relationship with, be it, maybe, I'll let you talk about all those things. Because not that I blush, I don't. And I do work with sexual issues with my clients, but I think you are much better at getting to the crux of the issues.
To the crux of the issues, okay.
So,
well, yeah, as I mentioned before, the one thing is the therapist who has to be open, and on the other hand, the client, so you, the listener, have to be just go there. It's nothing you have to be ashamed for or something. Just go there and just look for someone where you see, okay, I see this person, and just figure out, trust your kind of your stomach feeling.
Your gut.
Your gut. You say your gut. Okay. Trust your gut if you like a person or if you don't. So if you're not 100%, yes, this is my guy, then just go, yeah, guy, you know what I mean. So then just go to another hypnotist, because as you said, if you don't have a good sex life or a sex life in general,
it can affect your life big time.
Yeah, it can affect your life, and can just, people who don't have a good sex life are just, they don't have a good life, because Mother Nature, this is what we are made for. Just go out and replicate.
So the other thing is that, talking about speaking their language, and that's why maybe we're not going to say some of the stuff on air, but understand that it's become quite complicated for a regular person to know what's happening in the sexual field. We now have way more things to know about. There's people can be gay, or they can be lesbian, there's all kinds of different relationships today. So we are working in a different field altogether than what we did in the 50s or whatever. And not that it wasn't around, but we didn't know much about it. Today, we are on the new way of looking at things and being present for everyone. And that's the way it should be. We should be here for everyone. So I'm going to get preachy now, so you better take over.
Yeah, okay, good. Because you said we just have to be open. So another thing is, which I can say, if someone is looking for help, because whatever sexual kind of, I don't want to say disease, but so the funny thing is, if you look to we talked about that a few days ago, the DSM-5, or what all the rest of the world is using, the ICD-10, there are only male sexual problems listed. So you don't have the female problems that are obviously no diseases or whatever, but that's not the thing.
I guess that's because females are perfect.
Oh, okay. So yeah, usually females don't have any sexual problems. Never. It's only the male ones. Yeah. And most of the time they got it from the females, but that's another point of view. But the thing is, if someone is looking for someone who can help him or her, usually today we don't use the yellow pages. We just go to Google. Well, can I say Google or Bing or all the other search engines?
It's not a swear word, you can use it.
Well, Google, if you see this, just send us a big check. So if you Google and just go to a page, and then if there is not of the sexual stuff listed, then this person is maybe not the right therapist, because if someone is working with sexual issues on a regular basis and has no problems with that, they will listen it to their website. So when I first started opening my office and doing the practice, I just wrote stuff about all these sexual issues on my website. And always when I ask the people, well, why me? And they said, well, I was looking on 10, 20, 25 websites, but you were the only guy who named it. So
that's true.
If you are looking for someone, just go and look for someone who is just writing something about that on the website.
Anyway, you can always email questions. But besides sexual issues, we're talking about when we use Simpson protocol. I mean, we can work in those fields. We also use it for fertility and birthing and all those. There's maybe not connected, but it's all connected to your body and it's all connected to sex. So, so the field is a huge field, really.
It is. And, well, for the hypnotist, it's the thing you can make money with that. So I think some hypnotists are listening to us. So because usually the people, for other reasons, when you go for a smoking cessation, all the colleagues who do smoking cessation, they tell me that smokers always discuss or argue about the price. So I never had that someone showed up for solving a sexual issue and that they say, well, the price is too high or something. So
no, because everybody wants it done and they want their life changed. And talking about that, smoking cessation, it seems to be what most people think hypnosis is for. And it's only because it's in the past it was always used for, and it's not, and it is a great system to quit smoking. But there's so much more in our field than smoking cessation. And I'm trying to open up the minds of the people listening to every facet. So we're opening up that facet about sexual issues. We've already talked about birthing. We've talked about all kinds of things. And with Simpson protocol, the benefit of this is that many times we don't need to know too much about you. We can be totally confidential.
And because you were talking about smoking cessation. That's my favorite topic to deal with hypnosis. So in all the years I do hypnosis, I can say I did, 10 or 20 sessions about smoking cessation. So I'm one of the leading experts worldwide about that issue. So
not my favorite issue.
Why I'm mentioning this is just because you said we can just do so much more. So I usually don't do smoking cessation. But I have a lot of people who show up with kind of body issues, so that they have kind of physical stuff going on. So not only psychology stuff, it is, I would say 50% of my clients show up because they had some physical issues going on in their bodies. So hypnosis is for everything. And the good thing is when we treat that with Simpson protocol, we don't have to know much, and sometimes if you see a hypnotist, the hypnotist have to find a way to deal with it and to just go there and find the right suggestions or whatever he is doing to pick out the right feelings. So, and the good thing is if a hypnotist is working with Simpson protocol, you don't have to address some specific things. You just go there and let the superconscious mind do the work.
And you're working on the whole issue, then it becomes a holistic thing. Yeah. And that's the difference. And we don't have to make the judgment about how we're going to change it. How is it going to work for you? Because it's all totally run by the client's mind, right?
That's it.
So this is sort of, I know this is like blowing our own horn, and I guess I am blowing my own horn, but just like I've said before with other guests that we had, that maybe we're different styles of hypnosis. All hypnosis is good, and it's just good. I think Simpson protocol is the best because it's the best for me to use. It's what I'm comfortable in. So we're just talking to Dan Cleary not very long ago, and he does a totally different style of hypnosis, and he's superb at it. And he likes his best because it's best for him.
Well,
that's how it works.
I always say to my students, just you have to feel comfortable with it, and you have to just believe in what you do.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the big thing.
If someone shows up to me and say, well, tell me a nice story about change, I can say, well, yeah, I can do this, but it wouldn't affect you because I don't believe in that. So it's my belief system. And this is why I also say Simpson protocol is the best, because in my opinion, it's the most efficient tool you can have. So, and that brings me just to the next point. You know, I learned hypnosis with regression therapy. So this is why I don't think about giving suggestions and kind of reading scripts and working with metaphors and stories. That's not mine, because when I got first in touch with hypnosis, it was the Elman style, very directive, very analytical. So, but it was kind of, I was looking always kind of for a holy grail. Just, it has to be easier and more efficient. And then, you know, I was in Switzerland, had a session on myself at the, I don't know if it was 2011, 2012, I don't know. And yeah, then Hans Peter just talked about that lady from Vancouver Island, and the only thing he was using from Simpson protocol was the beach deepener. So, which is just for you guys out there, a technique to just deepen the hypnosis a little with a nice, relaxed and calm feeling. But I was interested in the lady who invented that stuff. I don't know why. So, and then in 2013, and why I'm telling this is because this lady hadn't a good website at that time. So you can't find anything specific about Simpson protocol. And then in 2013, I was at the convention, and more after the break.
Very good. Whoa, I gave him a poke. Here we go. Thank you. We'll see you on the other side.
All clear?
Thank you.
Thank you. You give me 1 second to save it and we'll get going again.
Yep.
So I finished it off. Protocol meeting and all that. And then I think start talking about what you guys are doing in terms of, we do hypnosis with people, etc. But also we can use it for a person who just wants more confidence, they want to be more productive. You know, the fact
We
that
help hypnotists. Oh, yeah. Yeah, what do you want us to talk about? How we help people, or how we also help hypnotists with personal mentoring?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And it's not just a person who maybe doesn't want hypnosis, but wants
to work with themselves. A mentoring program with self-hypnosis and hypnosis.
Yeah.
That we are in present designers. He's laughing.
Alrighty, I'm ready for this next one if you are.
Here we go.
Alrighty, our third segment will be 12 minutes. We will begin recording now in 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to Hypnosis Everywhere, and we've been on a topic of mostly sex, so we're going to move on a little. And I'm with Stin, and I'm just going to let Stin start to finish off where he was when we decided to go out in our meeting, which was very good fun. I'll have to say, it was really fun.
So that was in 2013 in Switzerland at this convention. And the thing is, you know, I came in, we have kind of connection. And on the next day, I was sitting in your presentation, and it was like, I felt in love with that, what you did, because it was, you know, as I mentioned before, I was looking for an easier approach and more efficient approach, and I saw you, and it was kind of that it was what I was looking for all the time before. So yeah, and now we are in 2018. I don't know how many sessions I did with Simpson protocol, but the feedbacks of the patients are just kind of outstanding.
Well, I have to say you were my first trainer. And I think you might be starting to get onto a place where you maybe have taught more people than me soon. And because Germany is, because of you, very good at it. And no, it's also the German mindset. You teach them something, they go out and do it.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, you're doers, I like that.
Engineers.
Yeah, well, maybe there's some flaws in that thinking sometimes, but yeah, it's very good, because I know that if I'm teaching people that, they'll say, well, their confidence level will be low, and they'll say, well, I just need to practice a little more, and I need to do this. In general, most Germans just say, okay, I'm just going to go out and do it. And they do it, and they all become very good at it. And there's been some great work done here in Germany.
Because they have a good trainer.
Yeah.
Who gives them the confidence.
He's a very good trainer, and you notice his confidence level is low. He has no trouble with that part at all.
Yeah, I don't.
No, he doesn't.
Hypnosis helped me to improve my confidence. So when I was just, in 2009, there was kind of lack of confidence. So, but hypnosis helped me to improve that a little more. So, and this is, I think, confidence is a thing which many people deal with. They feel inconfident, or however you will call it. So not everyone will say, well, I don't have that big confidence. So low self-esteem or whatever. And I think hypnosis is the best way to improve that and to kind of fix it.
It is. I think, well, we kind of, that's all we think about is hypnosis. It's our passion. It's our way of being. We help so many people with it. And, I don't know about for you, Stin, but when I help people get over whatever it is, I get a charge out of that. That pumps me up. That makes me happy just as well as them. And that's why we're in this game, is because we can help people. That is the number one thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And because we like doing it, and because we are good at it, because of, my confidence isn't bad either. And it used to be, and, it took me a little longer than him, because now I'm 65 and gung-ho, and yes, I'm pretty good at what I do. So, but for years, you get to a place where you work in life and you're doing all kinds of different things. You were in sales, I was in all kinds of stuff, and your self-esteem is not always addressed very well by your employers.
Well, yeah.
So when you get to doing and go see a hypnotist, and you start to have some confidence building, ego strengthening, as we call it, and all those things, you will change your life and move forward in whatever way you do.
You will, yeah.
And I also thought we should talk a little bit about regular people, because most of our audience is regular people. And back to self-hypnosis. We are thinking of starting some kind of it's more of a mentorship than just teaching you self-hypnosis, teaching you how to get to where you're going, and even maybe implementing it with sessions with us. So we haven't quite designed the whole thing yet. We're sort of, that's what we're doing. We've been having a good time talking about it. So we'll let you know about that. But it's really about moving you forward into the new life you want to lead. Right?
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, helping you guys forward to just, because if you have a little more self-esteem, a little more confidence, for many people, the life changes. Yeah. When they have more confidence, more self-esteem, it's just, so when I see my patients, every one of them is getting, when they book the appointment, an MP3 file, which is just a simple tool, a simple self-hypnosis MP3 for ego strengthening. And many people show up and say, well, that helped me so much changed in these few weeks where I listened to that. And so I always say, well, let's see how much you will have, or how big your change is after we did the whole session and fixed everything. Because in my opinion, many issues are just treated, or just, how you say that?
Just treated at the symptom level.
Not this. No. I'm missing the word. Just, so the low self-esteem is just kind of a side effect, and it's,
Yes. Okay.
Just
pushing
the
issue.
Yes. That's it. Yeah. So I was missing the word.
Yeah, it's always connected to other things, right?
It is.
Yeah, always.
This thing is also kind of a little a little
You're tweaking up
just
everything.
engine.
Yeah. Now, I was just going to say, you notice that I always call people I work with my clients because I'm not a doctor. And in the States and Canada, they're probably wondering why you call yours patients. And it's because you have to have an extra training here to be that you become.
You can, in Germany, you can just go and do kind of consulting, coaching stuff with hypnosis, or you can have a state license, and then you are allowed to treat people with diseases.
Yes, and that's why they become patients. Just explaining that to the hypnosis world out there.
Okay, but everyone who works with hypnosis is also treating diseases here, but they don't make a big deal out of it.
No. But it's just that, because we have this, it's a political thing that I am not a doctor, so I call mine clients. Okay. And that's just a small thing. And just for the hypnotists listening I'm talking about that. So there's the differences in countries, differences in culture, all those things there are involved in it. So where are we going next? Let's talk a little more about the mentoring.
The mentoring program.
Yeah.
Okay. Mentoring for clients and mentoring for other clients, which are kind of hypnotists in this case, which are also clients.
Yes, we're going to be mentoring hypnotists along the way, and just very, as the way we always do everything, very holistically.
Very holistically. So this is something which is coming up. We haven't set up the whole thing together, but so in my mind, the first time I was thinking of it was at the end of last year, why I thought to myself, well, okay, in a group training, I can help the people and I will give always my best, but sometimes it's good if you have kind of a mentor who is walking the way for you for quite a time, which helps you to develop all the skills you need to be successful, not only as the therapist, the hypnotist, also successful in the other parts, just kind of making money. So
yes, because you do, strangely enough, even though that our first thing is that we love to help people, we also have our rent to pay and all our other things. You want to have a successful business, right? So just like any other person that works out there and is self-employed, they need to cover their costs and have everything done. So mentorship is kind of a good thing because we can help people with that.
And we can help them to help others.
Yes.
Because I know so many hypnotists who work not only part-time, just one day a month, or because they don't see clients and they don't. So I know other hypnotists who have all the potential, but they have so low self-esteem and they don't know how to market themselves. So it's kind of.
Well, there's much more there's much more involved in than just hypnosis. We're very good at hypnosis.
We are.
But are we great at doing business work? And you are. You are great at marketing. You're great at all that stuff. So you're sort of a package deal.
A package deal. You and me together.
Yes. I've got, the reason I'm got that going is because my sidekick Martin is that other part. And he is that part that has all the skills for those. So I needed two of us to be you.
Well, as I always say, I would love to have an own Martin. So, but that's it. And I think you can just go and, well, if you are just a listener out there who's interested, just get in touch with Ines. And she can help you to just change your life. And if you're a hypnotist, get also in touch with Ines, because we can help you to change your life.
As a regular person out there, if you're somewhere and your life is just not going where you wanted to, there's all kinds of, you have anxiety, you need to have some help to get past that. So as we create this program, it's going to be available and it'll be a certain structure and but if you want to change your life and you want to get to where you're going, I suggest that you get help from someone, even if it isn't me or him. You need to have self-confidence to move forward in the world.
But if you're from the US or from Canada, you can just go with her. She's available on Zoom.
Yeah.
So just to advert your thing a little.
That's right. And
because
sort of,
she's one of the best.
But one of the reasons is, as we're traveling around, like here, I've been doing some Zoom sessions from here. I've been doing Zoom sessions from there. I still like the one-on-one, but, that's the way it works today. You're moving around the world and you need to do some work on the side. I mean, I can't just travel and keep spending money on traveling and not make any money. So that's the same old thing. It's just the same as everyone else. I have to make a living and I want to have some fun doing it though. So we got 30 seconds. What are we going to say on the way out here?
If you want help, we can help you.
Okay, so great.
To change your life.
Perfect. We'll go to break.
All clear.
Thanks.
Yep.
Okay.
1 moment to save it.
Okay. What?
We'll see about the breaks now.
That we've done 12, and it must only be 9 left, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're on the 4th one, right?
I have no clue.
Yep, we're on the last one.
Yeah, we're on the last one. So 9 minutes, about?
Yep, that's correct.
Yep.
9 minutes.
Okay, so then we're talking about this, and everybody knows that having a mentor is the most important way for moving forward. If you want to move forward, you need a mentor or a circle of people all
supporting
who are on the same page.
And we're talking about this program, and it's an international program because there is internet now. So if you are interested, it's not you have to be in Canada, you have to be in the US, you have to be in Germany,
France.
You could say you can use Hypno-School to be a base of.
We're ready if you are.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's do this then. Our last and final segment here will be 9 minutes. We will begin recording now in 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to Hypnosis Everywhere, and when we're on our last segment here. So we're just going to tie things up a little bit. Not tie people up, just tie this up a little bit. And then, sorry, it's a little section, innuendo. Okay, so, and then the last few minutes, I'm going to talk about whatever that comes up at the time. So we'll see what happens. So, Stin, I'd like you just carry on about the mentoring, because I think, we sort of said, well, Inez is in Canada, Inez is in, go there. But this is global today. We are global today. And if people need mentoring, we're available. And Hypno-School and me we're colleagues in this. And we're going to design a very good program. And that's what we're going to do. So
we are going to design kind of an inner circle where people, so we are there as mentors. We are on your side. We help you. And we are not alone. So this is kind of a peer group from people who walk in the same direction, who have maybe kind of the same ideas. So they are all on the same page. They want to move forward. And sometimes and this is, I think, the most important thing. This peer group is of people who want to move forward. And there's always, there are people who don't want that you are better than they are, who want to just hold you back. And in my opinion, it's important to break through this wall just to move forward. So this inner circle will help you because there are international colleagues who help you, who have ideas and who share the same thing.
Yeah.
So to go on, and not these ones, well, but you can't do this because, and you don't have to do this, and you have to do this. So just go through, open your mind. We'll be on your side to help you to get more out of your business.
Yeah, out of your business and out of your life. It's just, we're just starting. I have started doing this mentoring just lately, because before I was in stationary and I had an office and I could see my clients in and out and all that stuff. So now this is where I'm moving to, and I'm still going to be doing clients. So it's important, I think, that you keep everything out. And many times when other people teach you how to go into hypnosis, or any field for that matter, they don't want you actually to become much better than them. And I have to say, that's hard. It's not easy to see your students get better than you, but it's what you optimally want.
Yeah.
I want to teach you, and I've been learned from some of the best, Jerry Kine and all those people, and now it's time for me to teach you so you can get better than me. I mean, Jerry used to say that same thing, and it's important.
It is, of course. So we don't hide any secrets. No. We just give you everything we know, and this is probably the kind of the best knowledge you can get.
Yeah.
Because we are, just like you said, we are open-minded, and we want you to be better than we are. So that brings you forward, and
we keep up at the same time.
Well, yes.
If they get better than us,
as you said, there are people out there who don't want you to be better than them. And I know, especially in Germany, there are trainers who just hide their secrets and don't tell you everything you have to know, because they have kind of, I don't know, anxiety or whatever. So sounds a little scary, but that's how it is. So
but I'm sure that's human nature, and we have that in everything. And just because we're hypnotists and we are in this field, we aren't perfect. We're human beings. Believe it or not, we're just human beings, and everyone has foibles. And we're not knocking other people. It's just that all of us here are now this is this time of my life. I don't know about you because you're younger than me, but this is the time of my life I really want to get on the map for helping people get where they're going. And for me, getting SP around the world is important, because the more people use it, the more better things get.
Yeah.
Does that make more better? My English isn't all good, is it? I think I'd better let you say it instead.
You can just go in with Flemish.
Go ahead.
So the force is growing.
Yes, the force is growing.
The force is growing, and this is the important thing. So
good old Star Wars. What would I do without it? Without being able to use all that?
I don't know, because you're not connected to Star Wars. It's always a good explanation of what we do with SP.
Yoda was always my best.
See, and he said the Force is his ally.
Yeah.
And well, we can just talk about this for a second. But if you just look up for the idea George Lucas had with the Force, is just kind of all Sanskrit and I don't know how you sell it. What? Vedic scripts. So because there was, some kind of telling there is a higher mind, a higher power, however you will call it. So, and if you just look it up, the whole idea of the fourth is just the superconscious mind, which we work with in Simpson protocol.
Yeah.
The only thing we haven't invented yet is just letting with our fingers or hands moving stuff around.
No, I haven't got there yet.
But I think this is just a limitation of our mind, because we have the strong belief we can't do that. But if you talk to a neuroscientist, they tell you, well, regular people just use 5 to 8% of their mind power. So, and I always say, okay, maybe we can just elevate it from 8 to 10%. That's a big deal, because it's huge. Close to 20%, which is very huge, but it's always a small, tiny thing of all that stuff. So, yeah, and that brings me to another thing. When people ask, well, especially in trainings, where are the limitations of Simpson protocol or of hypnosis in general? And I always use the same answer. The limitation is up on your shoulders, between your ears. So we limitate ourselves with that. So we don't know where we can involve it. And if we talk in 20 years, we'll see what happened.
That's what we know. Limiting beliefs are something that stop us all in our tracks, and including, sometimes I know I have a limiting belief and it'll take me a little while to work on it, and then I can move forward. And they can attest to that, because I'm always a little slower moving than them.
She is.
Yeah. So let's just talk about the next show. And I have to ask my sidekick here. Martin, what's happening next show?
Next show will be us talking.
It'll be
kind
us.
of summing up a lot of the things that we've had because we've had different guests.
Yes. Okay, so the next show is just me and Martin. And we're going to talk about all the things we've done so far, the different guests and how it all comes together. And so really looking forward to that. And I really thank you, Steen, for being here with me. And as I'm at your house, I think it's probably the other way around. But I'm with him and he's with me. And I'm going to say good night and see you next time.
So you were forced to do this with me because you're here in my house. So, okay. Thank you for the invitation, Miss Ines.
As you can tell, we like to bug each other. And off we go. See you next time.
Bye.
All clear?
Thanks.
Yep.
All done.
Give me 1 second to save it. You can stop recording on your end too.
Yeah. You can stop recording on your end too.
Oh, is that what we do now?
Thank you. You're very good at this.
Definitely. Well,